Hi everybody, this is Jan, and this is a video tutorial about setting up an Eclipse IDE with GNU ARM Eclipse Plugin for embedded development. This tutorial is applicable to any Cortex-M device, but we are going to be using STM32 based Nucleo boards, just the one listed over here. They are really easy to get and they're quite cheap. We are also going to be using STM32Cube, which is a code generator provided by ST and makes it really easy to start with projects. And as the last thing, we're also going to be using some JLink tools. The GNU ARM Eclipse plugins has a great support for JLink debug probes, and for this tutorial you don't actually need the probe itself. Even if you do have it, you can use it, but we will actually flash this little device with JLink firmware, so we can actually use it similar way the debug probes are used. Right, okay, let's start and let's get JDK, which is actually necessary to run the STM32Cube software, and we need it to run Eclipse as well. As you can see, I'm running Mac, but this tutorial is applicable to any platform. With minor changes, you can do the same setup on Windows and Linux as well. Okay, let's install. Okay, I already had Java installed before, so if I open the system preferences, you can actually see it's in the panel over here. I'm not sure if you're gonna have it there right after you install, but that's a good way to check that everything is set up correctly. The next thing we'll download is Eclipse itself. So let's go to the Eclipse website, click download, and click download packages, and we want one for C and C++ developers. And let's wait for it to download. Okay, let's unzip it and put it into our applications. Okay, Eclipse, yes. Right, this is a question about the Eclipse workspace, as Eclipse calls it. This is a folder where you're gonna keep your projects, and that folder will keep your Eclipse settings as well. So let's create a projects folder in our home directory. And we will use it as default. Okay, so we have our Eclipse running, which is great. And the next thing we will need is to install Toolchain. So let's go back to browser and let's type in ARM GNU developer. Right, the Toolchain executables recently moved from the Launchpad websites to here. If I click download, you will see you get all the executables for all the platforms. So let me grab the Mac one. And let's wait for it to download. Okay. Let's go in here. And I do actually have a developer folder where I keep my tools for developing over here. So I'm actually gonna extract the toolchain in there. Okay, so we have our toolchain. Let's just quickly make sure it works. I'm going to open my terminal and navigate to developer folder and GCC. And if we type in ARM GCC version. Okay, so that's toolchain good. The one thing, if you are on Windows, you will also need to get the Windows build tools. You can get them here, click releases and here downloads. And you can actually see they can be downloaded from this website over here. On Linux and Mac, you don't need those because they are already there. Okay, so the next thing is we would want to install the GNU ARM Eclipse Plugin, which we actually can do from within Eclipse. So let's run Eclipse. I'll keep it in dock. We need to go to Help and Eclipse Marketplace. Now let's wait for it to refresh. And let's type in ARM GNU. And that's the plugin, and we can install it here. I normally select all of them, but the one we definitely need is the JLink, PEGs, and the Cortex-M templates. Okay, this is actually a known problem. I wanted to show you in this screencast as well, so I'll actually show you what to do about this. Let's copy this error message and go into our browser. Let's type in GNU ARM Eclipse, and if you go to this website over here, you will actually read about why this happens, what the reason for it is, and also how to fix it. And as you see over here, is the solution is to install the Cryptography extension. So let's do that. Okay. Let's close all of them. Let's close Eclipse as well for now. No. Okay, so that's the stuff we have downloaded, and you can see there is 2 files over here. And if I quickly show you, the instruction is to replace those 2 files in the JRE lib security folder. So let's do that. Actually, I'm gonna copy them manually through terminal. So one thing actually we will need to know is where is Java installed. We can actually find out by typing user libexec and Java home. So that's where our Java lives, over here. So we can navigate there. And also GRE, lib and security. If I list all the files in here, oops, you can see we've got our local policy over here and US export policy over there. So we need to replace those files with those two. So let's do it. Okay, so that should be good. Let's fire up Eclipse and let's try to install the plugin again. Okay, let's go help and Eclipse Marketplace. Type in GNU ARM and install. Select all, confirm, and here we go. We accept the terms. Okay, let's restart. Okay. Right, so that's our plugin installed. And right now there is a part of it which is called packs over here. Let's click it. And I'm actually going to refresh it. And what this is going to do, this is going to download a list of manufacturers and all of their devices and all the support files, which are actually not necessarily for this environment, but part of those are usable here as well. And this is actually going to take a little bit, so I will come back. Okay, so that's our list downloaded. Let's go under SD microelectronics, since that's where our board is, and let's select STM32L1 and right click and install. You can actually see the progress over here. Okay, so that's all we need, and let's close that view. Right, so there's one more thing we'll have to do before we can actually use our board with Eclipse over here. So let me just close Eclipse for now. And if I show you over here, this little part on top is the part which holds the programming and debugging interface, which is actually set up as an SDLink, which is an SD microelectronics way to talk to the board pretty much. What we are going to do, we're going to reflash this with the JLink firmware. So this port will actually appear as a JLink debug probe. So let's go to the SEGGER's website, and if we click download and you scroll down here, you will see there is an SDLink Reflash utility which converts SDLink to the JLink. You can see they actually have their own firmware for quite a few other devices as well. So yeah, feel free to use it. Let's click downloads. Yeah, sorry about it. Okay, as you can see over here, this executable is Windows only. So we'll actually have to fire up a Windows machine. And let me actually copy this folder. I've got my virtual machine running not here, actually here. So I'm gonna paste the files. And that's not executable over here. One thing we will actually need in order to use this tool, we have to actually download the SDLink driver from the SD's website, so our boards actually gets recognized. So let's do that. Let's type in SDLink driver. And that's what we need, the USB driver signed for Windows 7, 8, and 10. Get software. Get software. Accept. Unfortunately, the SD will force you to put your name and email, or I already have my username with SD, so I should be able to just log in. Okay. Let's extract it. And install it. Okay, I don't know if you have to reboot after this or not. I already had it installed before, so if it doesn't work, then please reboot. I'm gonna plug my board in now. And let's check in Device Manager. And you can actually see it over here, STM32 SDLink. And okay, let's open the Reflash tool, run it. Feel free to read this. I'll accept and accept again. And you have a few options over here. You can upgrade to JLink. You can update your JLink firmware. We don't have it installed though. If you are running JLink already, you can actually restore the SDLink back, so you don't have to worry about losing the SDLink functionality if you just want to try this out. Let me click 1 to upgrade to JLink. Okay, I'm gonna wait for my board to stop flashing. Okay. And if I open the device manager again, you can actually see I've got a JLink, because I already had the JLink tools installed on Windows. You can actually see it's recognized as JLink. You might have unrecognized device, but I actually didn't want it for here. I want it for here. So let me unplug that, and we have our board set to be used as JLink, which is great. And what's next? Right, we want to get the JLink tools installed. So again, if you go onto SEGGER's website and go to JLink debug probes, you can click download. And the first thing on top of here is the JLink software and documentation pack. So that's what we want. As you can see, there are all platforms listed over here, Windows, Mac, and all kinds of flavors, Linux flavors. And let's get the Mac one then. And let's wait for it to download. Okay, let's run it. Agree. All right. Clear this. We can close that as well. We can close that. Yeah, okay. Right. Let's fire up Eclipse. Okay, let's go to preferences and make sure that our JLink tools are set up correctly. So let's type in SEGGER, and over here you can actually see there is the folder where your tools are installed and the executable. So if I go into my applications, you can actually see there is the SEGGER folder here with all the tools in there. So we are good over here. Okay. And one more thing we'll have to set up is under CC++, build and global toolpaths. We'll have to provide a path for our build tools and toolchain. On Windows, those two folders are separate. You have to have a look where your build tools were installed and where your toolchain was installed. For us, we can go and navigate to our developer folder, toolchain and bin, and that's where the build tools and the toolchain lives. So let's click apply. And okay, and that's all we need to set up for Eclipse. Okay, one more thing before finishing this video is let's install the STM32Cube software. Okay, where's the downloads? Okay, get software, and again, you would have to log in or put your username, your email, in order to download stuff. I'm already logged in, so I'm alright. Let's wait for this to download. Okay, let's clear this and close that. Go jump in here. Right, you can see we got actually 3 installers for all 3 platforms. So let me run the Mac installer. Okay. If you try to run your installer on Mac and nothing happened, you can right click and show package contents and navigate to Mac OS and actually run the executable from here. Okay, accepts, next, and installation path we want to change. We're going to install it into our developer folder, and under STM32Cube MX, and the application is going to be called STM32Cube. We don't want that. Okay, so you can see it's going to be in our home folder developer in the folder STM32Cube MX, and the application is going to be called STM32Cube. Next, and that's good. Okay, let's have a look on developer folder, STM32Cube MX, and here we go. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have installed the overall interface, but we don't have any libraries installed. Let's click the updater settings, and we want to repository folder is actually set to what we said before, so that's good. Let's go here and install new libraries, and you will see for every STM32 family there is a different library. So different library for F4, F3. So let's go down and install the one we need, which is the STM32Cube L1. Okay. So let me just put this in my dock as well, and we can close this. And in the next video, we are going to set up a simple project for this little nuclear board. See you then.